Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Other's Keeper. Hello, my fam. Back to you, Crystal. Hey, Mama. Nice to see you here. I want to introduce everybody who has not yet met her. This is my sister, Glynnis. And
Hi.
she lives one province away from me. It's what, an 8 hour or so drive or so between us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Something like that.
depending
So,
on stops and route you take. I think it's 7 or 8 or something hours. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Depends on how much you speed.
that's
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be the problem in my house.
yeah, that
In
too.
my foot. I think I speed more than my husband does.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know I would. I know I do more than mine.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, definitely.
nice. Ooh, Misha says your hair looks incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, I got it cut just kind of this past week.
There
Yeah.
you go. It does look very nice.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you.
So nice to see you, Misha.
Good to see you.
Let's see.
Let's see.
So who else do we have? We just the
Comments.
three of them so far. Okay,
Oh, there they
awesome.
are. I got Crystal and Awakened and Marilyn. Marilyn,
Yeah, awakened
hi.
by the looking glasses reflection. That's Misha,
That's Misha. Hi, Misha. Hi, Mom.
not Misha. Misha, like
Misha.
Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I Misha, I see Misha, and I think Misha Collins, Supernatural. No,
Yeah.
different,
No.
different person.
Yeah. Very. No. She likes to say it's like Misha, like Michigan,
Yeah.
except no gun.
There you
So
go. Michelin.
Misha.
Michelin. Michelin.
Yeah.
Without the
Yeah.
line. Michelin. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Misha like Michelin. Yeah.
we're just gonna sit here and discuss your name, Misha, because
That's right.
it's fascinating.
Wonderful.
Anyways,
Anyway.
so we are going to talk about the 9 A's of a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Sounds right?
Yep. Yeah.
So where did you learn about this?
I was given this this list of words through a counselor that I had way back when my first marriage was going south, and it was just okay. This is something that he had developed in his practice and something that he introduced to his patients, his clients who were having relationship difficulties. And honestly, you can apply it to kind of any relationship, whether a working relationship, a romantic relationship, a friendship, parent and child. Like these, as you look through these lists of these words, they really can apply in some fashion or another, in some implementation or another, to every available relationship. Essentially, this list of words are essentials to a healthy relationship. If you begin to find, as you examine your relationship, if you begin to find that any one of these words begins to slack or begins to just not be as present, if you're starting to miss them, your relationship needs attention. And just as as I went through this list and I went through, do I recognize this? Do I feel this? And there were so few of the list that by the time I went to him, that I was seeing and feeling in my relationship that it was on life support. It was in dire shape. And unfortunately, I just didn't have the time. Neither of us had the commitment to it, to repair it, to replace these. It just was.
Well, probably by the time you saw it, like you said, it was on life support. You didn't have the time, energy, willpower, any of that. It was just, it would have been too much.
Yes.
To do all of that you would have to do.
Exactly. And I mean, and also he would have to be working these same things with me. And he wasn't going to see this counselor. So I was getting this on my own and having to try to share with my ex kind of secondhand and try to describe to what, and by then he had sort of disengaged and but I have always taken this. I mean, so this has been probably 20 years that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
no, not 20.
No, not 20.
25 maybe. No, not even.
No, because we separated in 2010. So that's been
Yeah.
14 years. So 16, 17 years?
Yeah.
16,
That makes
17 years
sense.
that I've had this, that
Yeah.
I've kept this list of words. And I just, every once
Mm.
in a while, something reminds me and I kind of revisit it. So it's always something
Yeah.
that's kind of in my head, something in my mind. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, like you said, this can be used for any relationship, but I think also, I think something we need to keep in mind is we need to be self-aware that it needs to be us being held accountable to this same list in our relationships with other people, right?
That's my first note on this. This goes both ways. It's not just am I getting this quality from my partner? Am I giving this quality to my partner? Am I exemplifying this quality? Am I communicating this? Keeping up my side of my end of the bargain in this, in this relationship. It's just as much on me as it is on them. So
for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so you
so
said that there's 9. Is there a particular order that they need to go in, or
not necessarily? I remember them alphabetically.
Okay.
It just helps me to remember kind of where in the list I am. But even as I was kind of writing my notes on this, I happened to kind of come back to the very top one. Really does tend to be the basis, the underpinning for the rest of them. It's just, they all kind of came back to, in some way or another, well, all of them came back in some way or another to the first item on the list. And I thought that was
the first item.
The first item is acceptance. Let's like, if the audience there, so I keep moving around too much. Camera keeps swinging around.
Your camera keeps.
Yeah.
Don't worry, if I get motion sick, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll try.
Hey, Daniel, nice to see you.
The audience here, if you have a pen and paper and want to, and if you can just write down the words, don't worry about having to write down the definitions and such, but even just to write down the words or type with your phone or something, record.
The nice thing with this format is that they can go back and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch as many times as they need to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I love about this format. So you can have a pen and paper, or if that's not the way you learn, you simply learn by listening and speaking.
That's right. Or
you
seeing,
can do it that way as well.
Maybe as someone who learns by seeing, if you can put, as we introduce each term, write it on the chat, Kim.
Sure.
Yeah, that can be something as well. So the first word is acceptance.
Okay.
Now, I tried very hard not to define these using the word itself. It's okay. So acceptance, think of it as they're not trying to change you. They accept you for the person that you are. They recognize they're okay with who you are. They accept you. You are good enough as a component. You are good enough just as yourself. And again, this can tend to be the basis for all the others that follow behind it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Because as you find, I mean, other words like, okay, affirm, admire, it all comes back to, do they accept the nature of you? Do you accept the nature of them for the complete form, this complete person of who they are? It's welcoming you into their life. It's including you. It's enveloping you and your whole person into their life gladly and willingly.
With all your warts and all everything
all
else.
The warts and all, exactly. It's not love is blind. Love is not blind.
No.
It's recognizing that the complete package of the person you are, like you said, warts and all, is acceptable. It is. It has value. You are worthy. So they're not trying to change you. They're not trying to make excuses for you or your background or behavior, whatever. They accept all of you just as a matter of choice. And
Okay.
sometimes that's what it is. It's a matter of choice. Do I accept this
Yeah.
person for the person that they are? Have I made that decision and commitment to doing that?
Mhm.
Do I accept this person? My over.
Oh no.
Oh no. I thought that might have been possible, but let's try to grease it up a little bit. Yeah, I've got my, there we go. Got my kind of precariously balanced on something here. So let's see if we can make this work.
And her camera tracks her face.
Yeah.
So every
I
time
guess
she
it's
moves her
not either.
face, the whole thing
Yeah.
goes.
So,
Anyway.
so yeah, and again, this just becomes you know, it and many of these words do tend to define themselves by using other words, right?
Okay.
So our second word in the list is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement.
I think I have.
Gee, I hope I spelled that correctly.
I think it's a Ledge. It doesn't look right the way I have it written down, so maybe it's the other way. I don't know, but it's acknowledgement.
Okay.
It's the acknowledgement of your place in their life. Acknowledging this is the person I have chosen to include in my life. It's this, and it's even so simple as acknowledging your, even by name, your position in their life. This is my boyfriend. This is my fiance. You are my girlfriend. You are my wife. This is, you are my child. You know, it's recognition of the existence of the relationship and the truth of the relationship. You know, and that was kind of the biggest, you know, the biggest point I have written under this one. It's that recognition. It's whether it's verbal or not. Usually though, acknowledgement is given by a verbal confirmation of this is the person I have chosen to, you know, include in my life. And again, going back to the acceptance, this is someone that I have chosen to accept into my life. This is, you know, I have accepted this person into my life, and I acknowledge that they have a significant influence and impact. They have a significant position in the course of my life and in my affections, which is another one down there. But yeah.
Yeah, with Douglas, I have all of this, but with my previous relationship with my ex-fiance, he accepted me, but I didn't have the acknowledgement of the important spot that I was supposed to have in his life.
Exactly.
And
that's the
like
important
that,
spot, the significant,
the status that fiance was supposed to hold.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another very good, you know, way to look at it is acknowledging and, you know, recognizing that status that you have, you know, that you have elevated that person to. There's a status that they, you know, that they exist in your life. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what's number 3?
Is admiration.
Let's spell that correctly.
Yeah.
There we go. Acknowledgement I spelled correctly because it didn't have the little wavy red line underneath it.
So
yeah.
Admiration of your qualities, admiration of your talents, your skills, your capabilities, admiration of your personality, your character. You are worthy of respect. You it's not flattery or brown nosing or, you know, but a sincere interest, a sincere pleasant contemplation. I perceive you, in a worthy and valuable stature. It's and again, it's kind of combining the two before. It's acknowledging that this person has gifts, skills, talents, qualities that are, a positive, have a positive impact in the world around them, and a positive impact that they bring to my life, or that, thinking of extending this, going the other way, that be admirable to, to acknowledge those qualities in yourself, and to look at that person and find those things that you do, that you can and do admire about them. This one tends to be maybe one of the easier ones when it comes right down to it, because there's obviously something that has pleased you in their personality or in their character to enter into that relationship initially. So as long as you can still find those things, or still offer those same things to someone else, be of a forgiving and a pleasant and and respectful person that someone can admire in yourself, offer those admirable qualities. Yeah, making up,
it's kind of like being able to brag somebody up.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Look at my sister. She has the most beautiful white hair that I have seen on like almost anybody. She has gorgeous hair, amazing hair. Like in that way, that admiration is the ability to brag somebody up.
Right. Yeah. And that's something else that actually you make a good point, that it's not just these qualities between you and the person you're in a relationship. I mean, if you're getting these things in your private conversations, and you're getting these things in your in your private communications, that's one thing. But it's also just so immensely important to reflect those outwardly as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's part of the acknowledgement.
Yes, the acknowledgement that that admiration is introduce you to Mr. Whatever, my boss. I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Glynnis. I'd like you to please meet my sister, Kim. She is exceptional at color theory. She's used it in so many other ways. She does things with colors I cannot even conceive of. But you can see shades and nuances and tones of colors that I just don't get. I just can't. But you're so good at that, and that's what makes your creative side so pleasing and so effective, is that you can work and use those things so well. But again, these are the communications that are so important to reflect outwardly beyond your communication with you, and and communion with within your relationship. It's one thing. This is actually, it's interesting. This is something else that I happened to pick up with this same particular counselor, was things of self-affirmation, and things of looking in the mirror and I'm smart, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I'm valuable.
I'm Stuart Smalley.
That's right. But I mean, I could stand in my mirror every day for a half an hour and tell myself these things in the mirror. I'm smart, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I am lovable. And I could repeat those to myself all day, every day. How far is that going to go if I don't get that reflected back from the outside?
Also, if you don't actually believe it.
Well, how long am I going to believe it if I don't get that reflected back to me from someone else, from an employer telling me you're worthy, from a partner saying you're valuable? How long is it going to be before I start to well, am I really as valuable as I think I am? And
Yeah.
am I really as pretty as I want to think? If I don't get that reflected from the outside, it's going to sound hollow real
Yeah.
fast, real
Yeah,
fast.
you're right.
So it is important that it is important for us in our relationships to communicate these things and to give these things in our behaviors to each other. But it
Hmm.
is really immensely important that we know that other people are hearing it as well.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that's very, very important. You know, I
Hmm.
I want my mom to know that Cam values me and honors me
Hmm.
and loves me. And I need to
Hmm.
know, I need, you know, the people around him to know that I accept and I acknowledge and I greatly admire him,
Hmm.
and show to other people how admirable this man really is. He
Hmm.
needs for me to be able to reflect that to other people as well.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So what's number 4?
Number 4 is affection.
Okay. Affection.
Affection. Now, the first thing that my counselor defined to me is affection above the waist. This is not. This is not like, especially in an intimate relationship, it's not your sex life. It's not your
Right.
intimate life. Okay. This is affection, non-sexual, non-intimate. Um, it can include words, your words of affirmation, your words of affection, in the love languages, but holding hands,
Hmm.
holding eye contact,
Hmm.
um, touching your face or putting their arm around you or
If my husband touched my face, I'd wonder what was going on.
whatever,
But I mean, that's also, yeah.
whatever form of a physical touch of affection, um, that suits you, okay, that comes easily to you.
Hmm.
But again, it can also include those words, the I love yous, the I treasure you, I'm glad I chose you, I'm grateful to have you in my life.
Yeah.
It's a feeling of fondness and liking someone. It's that
Hmm.
warmth, it's that closeness, it's that caring for someone. Do you have that affection? Um,
Hmm.
in some ways, when a relationship starts to go a little sideways, this can be the first one that goes. Um, it can sometimes, depending on the nature of the breakdown in the relationship, the affection could be one of the first ones to go.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just, but it's one of those, you know it when you feel it. You know it when you see it.
Mm.
You can't, it's harder to define, but you
Hmm.
know when you see it. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
feel like he loves me. He may say it, but I don't feel it, Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah. Having communication only works if the sender and receiver both understand.
That's right.
Like I
That's
can
right.
say everything I want,
Hmm.
but if it's not in the same language that my student, like if they're not an English
Right.
speaker, I
Yeah.
can say whatever.
Yeah.
They don't understand a
Yeah.
thing, right?
It's pointless. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if
Speaking of things like your love languages, I could,
mhm,
if someone's primary love language is physical touch, like mine is,
mhm,
and my partner's is words of affirmation, or my partner's is quality time. I mean, he can be, we could spend 20 hours together, and he could write lasers and pages, but if he doesn't touch me, if he doesn't express to me that affection in a way that I can receive,
mhm,
it will be meaningless to me.
yeah,
And the same thing for me. If I'm always groping and touching and everything, and I don't say anything to him, it just becomes, ooh, just yeah, it's
am I
not
just a body
received.
to you? Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
It's it's giving those forms of affection in ways that are received, like you said, received from both sides, that can be spoken and understood, or given and understood and received from both parties. And if it means learning the way to communicate with your partner or with
mhm,
your employee
mhm,
or child, because each nature of relationship is going to have different,
absolutely,
different means of showing these things.
yeah,
Um, learn what it is that your partner, that the counterpart will receive, and make it a point of giving them that. I mean, that's that's an act of love just right where it is.
Exactly.
Give them that affection in words and in ways they will receive it and they'll understand.
Yeah. For my husband and I, both of us, we took that love language quiz, and it was both of us by leaps and bounds was physical touch.
That's fantastic that you both speak the same language.
We both, unfortunately, I have one daughter for whom physical touch is not a good thing. And it's not so much that she doesn't like you. It's just, just don't touch. Just don't touch. You know? And so my way of affirming her, my way of showing affection to her is respecting that space.
Right.
And it took me a very, very unfortunate amount of time to actually learn to do that. Brian,
the thing is, you're smart, and my ex would flinch when I touched her. Yeah. And there are definitely times when that's the thing. My husband and his ex had the nature of their relationship was much the same way. She just did not want to be touched, and it's not his primary, but they're married. I mean,
there should be some
kind of holding hands. There's got to be some kind of kisses, hugs, whatever. Nope. she really bristled at that, unfortunately, and it scarred him pretty deeply.
For sure. Yeah. Well, to be shunned,
yes,
that's different than not touching. That is shunning. That's
pushing
a whole
different thing.
All of this list.
Yes.
Going away, right?
It really is. Yeah, it really is. But you are a smart and thoughtful and respectable enough person. Once you have learned that, you can make your apologies. I'm sorry I have not learned this before. Please forgive me, and be better going forward.
Exactly.
And learning the ways that your child accepts that affection from you. And giving
the cool
it
thing
in
is,
that way.
That particular child, she knows that I am a very lovey, huggy, touchy person. So she's like, okay, let's hug.
Yeah, you need this.
And so she gives it back to me in kind.
So wonderful. That's so wonderful.
And knowing that for each of it, Brian says his ex is very self-centered, and Mom says knowing what they are able to receive. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, exactly. So so that so that affection is a pretty solid basis of, especially of an intimate or a personal relationship. That affection is pretty hard basis to build that on. So but again, going back to the admiring, I accept this person, I admire this person, I can, it makes it easy for that affection to follow. When those things begin, that affection comes right up behind really quickly.
Right.
That's what it's born out of, essentially. So
honestly, I would have to say acceptance and affection. I think those two would be the basis that I would suggest a relationship would stand on.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have an affection, why would you bother accepting?
Exactly. Yeah. If you can't,
and vice versa.
If you can't accept them, there's going to be no affection.
Right.
So,
okay. Number 5.
The next one in our list is affirmation. This was a little bit harder to kind of define in specific words without using other words to define it.
I affirm you.
Yeah, but what are you affirming?
Yes.
It's the confirmation of the validity of your relationship. It's right. It's, yes, you are still my partner. It's, yes, you are still a worthy person. it's an emotional support or encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
It's, when you find that your partner is having a bad day or is experiencing a trauma or a crisis or of some kind, it'll be okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here with you. It will be okay. We'll get through this together.
Mm-hmm.
It's asserting the recognition of the value, right? It's that sense of
Mm-hmm.
value that you give them. It's,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm still with you. I'm still here beside you. I'm not going anywhere. That's affirming the nature of your relationship. Um, you're my child. You've gotten yourself into some trouble, but you're still my kid. I'm still your
And
mom,
I'm
and I
not going
still love you.
anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
In a working environment, we've had a really bad financial quarter, and it's going to be tight, but your job is safe. It's 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 those kind of affirmation of the value
Mm-hmm.
that they bring into your life. It's
Mm-hmm.
affirming to the person that you're in a relationship with, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here with
Mm-hmm.
you. I still choose you. I mean, that it kind of, this one tends to fold into another word that comes a bit later, but there's a bit of a fine definition, kind of a fine line of definition, where this one is just the first words I have written, the confirmation of validity, the confirmation of the value um,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
that they give you, and the value that you have to them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this one going out. Oh, okay, just an email message. Okay, an email notification seemed a little weird. It's giving to someone the affirmation that, okay, things are difficult, especially if you find, you're getting into a relationship, you start to find these words getting a little shaky. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we need to pick up, you know we need to talk, but the first
Mm-hmm.
word should be, we're still okay. um we're still okay. um you're still, going back, and the acknowledgement, you are still my husband. You are still my child, and I love you. Okay, it's difficult, I'm not happy, but financial quarter we've had is really bad. You've kind of slipped on some of your contracts, but your job is safe.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of our relationship is still worthy. It's still
Strong.
strong. But
Yeah.
like I said, it does kind of blend into another one of the words coming down later. But again, it's as you kind of meditate on the natures of each of these definitions, and what each of these words looks like in practice, you can kind of find those nuances between the two terms, and between the two items. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this one was a little bit tougher to define, completely,
Okay.
you know, conceptual by itself. So our next one is
Mm-hmm.
appreciation. This one can be another big one, going hand in hand with acceptance.
I'm going to
And
stop you here.
yep,
Mom, I appreciate you. Okay, it's a thing.
yes, I know. It's the, I want you in my life. I have gratitude. I'm thankful to have you in my life. It's the recognition of the good qualities. It's a recognition of the joy, the enhancement that you have brought to their lives. It's the it's it's a recognition of the esteem and the value. It's, I appreciate you and the person you are. There's one of these celebrity chefs, kind of television chefs, is Robert Irvine, and that's something that
Mm-hmm.
he has built into his brand and in his business model. Is he tells his employees all the time, I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate the effort that it's taken you to do this. Giving those kind of words to someone, it can be very impactful, very significant. I appreciate everything that you have brought. I appreciate the work that I appreciate my husband for the work that he does to provide for us, because I don't work. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of our financial situation is all on him. And I appreciate so much that he takes that on, despite despite his very significant health issues that he's had over the years. I appreciate so much that he has learned so much about himself, um,
Mm-hmm.
and that he gives so much and so selflessly. Um, it just, yeah, and those are the kind of words that people need. And again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being able to say those, communicate those between you and your partner, between you and the person you're in this whatever relationship with, is essential. It really is essential. But again, it is also important that, you know, you telling mom, I appreciate you. It's that thing, but it's a thing for a reason.
Yeah.
It's a thing
Yeah.
because it has become significant between the two of you.
Yeah. My ex-wife was
Well,
always, I'm with you, so you should know. Like I said,
yeah,
self-centered.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But being able to,
Absolutely.
but being able to say to other people, like I said, like my husband, how much I appreciate my husband and for what he does,
Mm-hmm.
because he is that significant person and influence in my life, and it's praising up someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I appreciate my kids. They, oh my gosh, and just for the crap mother that I was for so long, because mental illness is a thing, y'all. I was not I was not a happy parent for a lot of years, and I made a lot of very regrettable mistakes. But I appreciate each one of my kids for the people that they have grown to be in spite of, and through all that. And maybe as a result
I would
of some of it.
argue that it's because of as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
Yeah. As a
completely in
result
spite
of.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that I appreciate the nature of the people that they are. They're respectful. They're not, they're not mired in addictions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're not in damaging or traumatic or toxic relationships. They
Mm-hmm.
are strong, independent, thoughtful, creative,
Mm-hmm.
these remarkable people. And I appreciate the nature of the relationship that I have with each one of them, that we're able to maintain. There have been apologies gone back and forth from all sides. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these are the things that people need to hear about the people in our lives. Staff appreciation,
Yes.
employee of the month. That's a perfect example of a staff appreciation. Um, Staff, pizza parties, okay, you know, whatever things, but your staff days,
Yeah.
it's, staff Christmas parties. We just went through this past
Yep.
weekend with his staff Christmas party, and
Mm-hmm.
a couple of speeches revolved a lot around the appreciation of the employees in each of their particular fields within the
Right.
corporation, within the
Right.
business, and how each one of them was appreciated for what they brought to the increase and to the stability and the success of their
Mm-hmm.
company. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always very important that people know that they are appreciated.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
for Crystal, I'm forever saying thank you to people that help me
Mhm.
at work. Some of them look at me funny and ask what they help with. And sometimes it's as small as letting me go ahead of them for something. And that's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just the tiniest little thing that
Mhm.
made somebody's day, made
Yep.
it just that little bit easier when
Yep.
you never know. They could have been having the worst crap day,
Mhm.
but you did that little thing.
That's right.
That can make a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, even like I said, like, celebrity chef Robert, I appreciate you. I appreciate your
Mm-hmm.
work. I appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
the efforts that you put in. I appreciate that the skills that you've brought into our business. I appreciate the skills that you have, come alongside with. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 7.
Approval. Again, this can.
Oh. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
something.
I don't know
Maybe
why
my
it went
battery's
off.
going a little funny. Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder.
Okay.
The green light's on.
Yep. No, it just flipped off. Flipped off may be the wrong phrase. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so approval.
Let's try.
There you go.
Let's try this one instead. Yep. Okay. So I may have to do a little bit of futzing around to maybe not.
No, just going with the second one is good.
Yeah. Okay. How's the sound on that one? Because it's not clipped to me, but the sound okay on it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's close to me, but it's not like right on me. Okay, good.
That's
okay. Okay, as long as it works. So we got to
approval.
Okay, so approval. You are okay. I am okay to be with you. You are a good person, and I trust you. It's the declaration of their worth. It's and that was kind of the stars and arrows pointed, the declaration of the worth. So there's, the acceptance is one thing, but the approval being, you are a good person. I have made a good choice to have you in my life. Right? Yeah, and that's kind of the difference between the acceptance and the approval is you are a good person.
And affirmation. Affirmation is the external, I am telling you, right. Whereas approval
where the
is more of a
affirmation is we're still together, we're still strong. The approval is you've done good work. You're a good influence in my life. You're a good where'd the word go?
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah. And it's the acceptance. Like you are a good and acceptable and worthwhile person. I think that's just the declaration of the worth is, for all these things about you, you may not be a great cook, but you're okay. Yeah, you've done something different that I wouldn't have thought to do. That was a good choice.
I wouldn't have thought to put mint in the garlic sauce, frankly.
That's a choice. Yeah.
That is a choice.
It's affirming, going back to affirming, you make good choices.
Yeah.
I trust you. I trust you with our finances. I trust you in the decisions that you'll make with your patients. I trust you, I trust you to do your homework on time. I trust that you'll get yourself to work on time and be responsible that way. It's the approval of, you make good choices. And yeah. and I can be, and what? It's like when I think of like between Cam and me, it's it's okay. I saw this thing and I was at the store and it reminded me that we were short of this and we'd been talking about getting this. Okay. Yes, that was a good choice to do that. Or it's I approve of the choices that you make. I approve. Yeah, like I said, it's so hard to define some of these without using the word itself. It's just that, the choices that you make are solid. Yeah.
If you could click that onto your shirt again, I'm getting a little bit of feedback because it's a little too close to the speaker of your device. So,
would. Pardon me while make faces then.
There you go.
Is that better?
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where I had it sitting is, I wouldn't say right up against the speaker, but it's close. Okay. So
Like this
yeah,
far
I
away.
mean, some of these were yeah, some of these were a little difficult to define without using the word itself, but the
Oh,
approval
that can
is,
be such a pain, isn't it?
oh, I know, it's, yeah, and I was looking through like definite, dictionary definitions, and it's, yeah.
Yep.
Approval of you as a person. You are a good person. You are a worthy and valuable person. Yeah, I support you. Let's even just say that I support you, and I will defend you, and I will encourage you, and I will, I'll go to bat for you, right? Yeah,
That's a big one.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Okay, so what's number 8?
Next one is assurance. This is the one that kind of was hard to separate out from affirmation. Assurance being,
no, in my brain I can picture a difference, like a fair difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's that the guarantee, it's the commitment, it's the confidence. Yeah, it's the confidence, the certainty in our relationship. It's we are okay. It's the I still choose you, right? It's that pledge. It's that guarantee. Yeah. Oh, hey, hi, Ruby's mommy. Hi, Ruby's mommy. Hey, sorry I'm late. Yeah, there you go. Good to have you join us. Late or not, it's read back in there, and the words will be there.
Ellen's been having a rough time. That's Ruby's mommy is Ellen, and she's been having a bit of a rough time. So the fact that she's here at all, I'm very grateful, my friend.
Very,
very
very
grateful you're here.
Very happy to see you, then, Ellen. I really do hope that things work out for your best prosperity.
It's just going to be a process.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I'm very, very glad to see you here and taking care of yourself. We're glad to have you. But
so assurance.
Yeah.
Assurance. That guarantee.
Yep, exactly. Like I said, it was kind of hard to separate this one out from affirmation, where the confirmation of the validity. This is the confidence in the certainty of that relationship, of whatever relationship. It's the assurance of, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. It's, we are okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, this one.
It's just kind of like, huh, okay.
Yeah. It's a heavy sigh kind of assurance.
Yeah. Like, I think we're okay.
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is the one, of all the words, this is the one that you feel in yourself, that doesn't necessarily come directly from the other party, but the one that you feel in yourself.
I would feel the assurance with somebody's words of affirmation.
Right. I feel the assurance that I'm okay. I feel the assurance that we're still solid. I feel the assurance that I'm stable in this environment. Rather than the affirmation coming from the other person, you're still good, your job is secure, you're still my kid and I love you. It's, do I feel that confidence? Do I feel that stability? Do I feel that foundation?
So to express it verbally, is it more of a feeling or is it more of a verbal? Or can it be both?
Maybe it can be both. This is where I kind of tripped up on. Is if you're expressing it verbally, is that the affirmation, offering you, we're still good? Or, yeah.
Do you know what? I can see where the affirmation can feel hollow unless there's an assurance of stability.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That foundation, that underlying foundation. Sure.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So I could see where expressing the assurance verbally would have its place,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to, sometimes that affirmation is like, you know, you kind of messed the bed up, but
Yep. But
we're okay.
we're okay. We'll get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be a little bit different from
Yeah.
approval. It would be different from any of the rest, actually.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, each of them has their particular, has their particular benefit and has their particular quality.
For sure.
They do kind of intermesh many times.
They sure do. Yeah.
But each one has their significant and an essential place in the list. I guess the assurance being, that foundational basis. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but thank you for that. I do, this is why we talk things through like this. It's like,
I know, right?
Yeah, like,
Yes.
in my head, I can, my head, I got all the definitions, but to try to write it down into a word, that's a little hard.
That's right.
It doesn't always come out so smoothly.
Oh, I like what Crystal says. Assurance says to me that I feel safe with that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. I'm going to write that down too. I really like that.
Yeah.
I feel safe. Oh, I like that.
With that person.
Yeah. Well, I feel safe with you. I feel safe with this person. Yeah.
Or you, the situation. I feel safe at my job. I feel safe with whatever. There's a surety to it. I
feel safe here. Thank you, Crystal, for that. That is fantastic. Very good. Very good. Thank you for that. You're so smart. It's very, very smart and profound thing to think of. That's great. I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So when I got the original list of words, this is where the list ended. There was originally 8 A words that I was given, and I have added one more onto the end that became significant to me. Like I said, when my first marriage was going sour, and it's something that I realized going into my new relationship that I definitely needed to make sure was there, so that I felt, I felt that approval, that I felt that affection and that assurance, attention. Attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say what you want, but if you're not, if there's nothing there to back it up.
Exactly. But it's even like they're listening to you. They're not getting distracted. They're actively listening to you. There's intentness in their communication. There's deliberate back and forth giving and receiving of messages and words. They're making specific time for you. They're not making excuses. They're not blowing off dates. They're not, oh, we'll have that meeting later. We'll have that, they're giving you their undivided, personalized, intentive attention. You can speak and be heard. You can speak and be received. You receive what they're giving you. You make time for them and hear what they are saying. Not that you have to read between lines, but that act of listening. Okay, I heard you say this. Am I understanding this correctly?
Sometimes that can be a scary phrase right there. Am I understanding that correctly?
It's so simple. But let me, tell me if I'm misunderstanding something, because I think I missed a switch here. But did you mean that we were going to go this weekend or next weekend? Did I miss something? You have their attention. They have your attention. When my kids were little, when my kids were really, really little, of course, you get into, churches, you get into public places, and you're talking to people, and, little kids hauling on your shirt, Mom, Mommy, Mom. And you can just clue it out. I mean, how often to mothers of children and toddlers, we don't even hear it anymore. Don't even hear it anymore. Your children need your attention. And when my kids, what we developed between us was, especially in church, it was kind of the biggest thing, is when I was in conversation with someone and they needed to ask me, they needed my attention, They would just come stand behind me and just hold my hand. They would just take my hand and wouldn't have to say anything. And I would squeeze their hand back to recognize that, yes, they're there. I would acknowledge, yes, you're here. You know, you'll have me in a second, but not to interrupt. You know, it's, you know, they take my hand and I squeeze. Yes, you have my attention. And, you know, okay, yeah, okay, I'll set that meeting up. And can you give me just one moment, please? Yes, my dear, what do you need? Dad wants to know if you know, they have my undivided attention. It's not, you know, talking. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, talking. No, just go and do your, you know, go sit in they have your attention, you know.
In this day and age of cell phones, of smartphones, of the addiction that we all have, and I'm not even going to say that some of us, we all have that addiction.
Yep.
I haven't met a person yet with one of these that isn't,
you
know, it is part of who they are now. Yep. So attention, you know, there are times when my husband and I will be sitting on the couch and we won't be paying attention at all to each other. He'll be playing a game on his phone. I'll be scrolling through Facebook or YouTube or whatever on my phone. And it's not a bad thing.
No.
It would be a bad thing if I was trying to talk to him, if he was trying to communicate with me, and the other person's attention would be significantly diverted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not even that. It might not even be that, you know, you make sure you have their attention, but that their attention is not divided where it should not be. Yeah. That became a very significant sticking point in my first marriage, that his attention went to places that weren't healthy. They went to places that were not us. Right. And that I guess is more specifically part of an intimate or a marriage relationship or a, you know, a personal relationship, little bit more defined in this one than a working relationship or neighbors, you know, your neighborhood relationship. But that the person that you're investing the person you're investing your affection into, the person you're wanting to invest this assurance into, they have your attention, your undivided, devoted, not distracted attention. You know, your focus is here. Your focus is with me and our relationship. You're doing the emotional work to maintain and support us, to maintain and support here your household, rather than, you know, giving all your attention to working 90 hours a week, you know, or, you know, spending every single weekend out hunting, or whatever it is that takes your...
It's not fair when you look in my front windows, just saying.
But whatever it is that takes that commitment, takes that attention away from maintaining and supporting this relationship that we're in. It's, do you have their attention? Do they have your undivided attention? Are you making excuses to spend time elsewhere because it's, you know, because you want to avoid whatever's happening here? This was another bad, very bad quality of my husband's first marriage, is he recognized eventually that he was spending 9 and 10 and 12-hour days at work because he just didn't want to go home. He just didn't want to be there. So when his attention started to wander, when his attention was not focused on, I'm going home to my wife, when that started to change, that was, you know, one of the things that told him that things were not going great. And that's one of the things that you find in yourself is, am I giving my undivided attention? Am I giving my devoted attention? Am I actively listening? Pardon me. Am I actively listening and communicating, giving and receiving with my partner in this. So, yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, thank you, Sissy, for
Very, very
bringing
welcome.
this.
You're very welcome. It's only been the hour, but you know.
Do you know what? That's perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
and the nice thing is you can look up what the words, those 9 words are in the chat.
Yep.
And once you've seen it in the chat, you can go back and listen then to discussion. You can come up with your own thoughts. Please
Absolutely.
write your own thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah,
I would love to hear what you have to say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to. That was what I was going to say. Everybody, yeah, add another.
Here's one.
Accountability.
I think that's smart.
Recognize your own accountability as what yourself are doing wrong. Don't just recognize their contributions. I think that kind of is the overlying aspect to all of these. In when you describe when each of these qualities is either present or begins to be missing, that's you take the accountability to.
But I would add it because, like you said, it is a real underpinning. Because if you don't have the accountability, whether you keep yourself accountable or your partner accountable or your workplace accountable or whatever, basically it's like having a law with no teeth, right?
Okay. Yeah. I see that.
That's what accountability is, really.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would add a 10th one.
Oh, I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mama. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to. Okay, I'm going to add that too. Oh, my pen has decided it doesn't want to work.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll definitely give some thought into kind of where that incorporates into the rest of these. But I like that thought is I am accountable to you for my behavior,
or I'm accountable to myself. Even like people who are trying to get through an addiction, people who are trying to get through any problem whatsoever, a person who's trying to develop a new habit frequently will have an accountability partner.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, hi, who am I going to answer to?
Yeah.
Who has the final say?
Right.
And it's not in a bad way at all. It is.
Yeah.
There needs to be teeth.
Not at all. Yeah.
There needs to be teeth to whatever this agreement is.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would even think of it in a relationship as far as accountability for finances.
Yes.
Being accountable for the financial decisions that you make, the spending decisions that you make, accountable for chores that you commit to doing. Okay. It's okay. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't unload the dishwasher today. I'm so sorry. I mean, there's clean forks in there if you want one. It's, it's being accountable to, we've made this commitment to these standards between us, and we've made commitment to these standards between us, and I'm again going both ways. I'm going to hold you accountable to to keep up your end that you committed to, but I'm also committing to be accountable to you for my end of the bargain, my end of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a very appropriate action item. 2 more M's.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not an English nerd, honest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, you'll also notice that this list is not anything as far as it doesn't include anything like faithfulness, respect. It doesn't include any of that, because those kind of come as offshoots. They come as after effects of these as the basis for your relationships. When you have the assurance, when you have the affirmation, when you have the approval, you'll be less likely to stray as far as cheating or betrayal, or you will be accountable to these things. But yeah, like, but respect though is also a deep purpose behind a lot of these qualities. That's
Absolutely.
one of the words, one of the things that came up as I was kind of writing down definitions and kind of writing down my thoughts of these is each of these is showing a basic respect for the
Yes.
person that you're dealing with. They show a
Absolutely.
basic human respect that every person in your life deserves acceptance. Every person in your life deserves affirmation. Every person in your life deserves this respect, which, is, yeah, that just, it
Yeah,
was a
no,
word
you're
that
right.
came up often when I was writing these down, that it can be kind of the most simple groundword, basic quality behind each of these is respect
Hmm.
for your fellow person. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, my sister. I
Oh, you're
appreciate
welcome.
this.
Mhm.
This was excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. There's
Yeah.
so many ideas, and yeah, I am going to have to go back and listen and just,
Yeah.
like, you can only hold in so much over a short
Yeah.
period of time,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So to
Exactly.
have to actually internalize and
Mhm.
bring it in and
Mhm.
see the application in your life,
Right. Exactly.
like
Exactly.
what depends on what relationship, whether it be work,
Mhm.
parental,
Yep.
romantic, friendship,
Yep. Exactly.
whatever, sibling,
Exactly.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, I've had this list for well over 15 years, and I just months and hours, weeks and weeks, months, and meditating on
Hmm.
each of these. And
Hmm.
what does this mean to me? How do I exemplify it? Um, yeah, how do I put it in action? Yeah, what does this mean to me? How do I make it a priority? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
yeah,
sissy.
yeah. I don't know.
Thank
Like,
you
do
for
we want to? Anybody have questions or anything to, questions or insights about any of them?
that's with the chat.
Hmm.
I think my general expectation is that people will write things down in
Right.
the chat as we go.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, that's my expectation.
Yep.
I could be totally wrong.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, because unfortunately, what happens is if we wait till now for them to ask questions,
Mm.
it's like a good 40-second break. We would be
Oh,
sitting
I
here
see.
going,
Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is why the chat is wonderful, because I mean, people like Crystal Phoenix can show up and she can
Mhm.
participate. And although
Yep.
I didn't say hi, Crystal,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hi.
But I'm really glad you were here.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
all of these
Definitely.
people being able um, to put in comments, like Brian and Crystal
Yeah.
and Ellen and Mum, like everybody here puts something in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Absolutely.
really
Yeah.
grateful for this chat to be able
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So if you
Mhm.
do have any other comments, suggestions, anything like
Mhm.
that, put
Yep.
it
Yep.
down in the comments after the show's
Mhm.
done.
Yep.
And I'd be more than happy to either pass it on to my sister,
Yep.
or I can take it for
I've,
myself if that's what you
yep.
want.
Yep. I've got a
You
YouTube,
know?
so I'll probably poke in and look at the YouTube
Oh
if
yeah, you
any
have
comments come
done.
up after. Yeah, I
You
have.
have
Yep.
done that.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Excellent. All righty,
All right.
everybody. I will see you on tomorrow for
Ooh,
devotional.
okay.
I've been doing devotionals every day, Glynnis.
Okay.
And it started out as being a December thing, but then the request has been, well, let's just continue this on.
Mhm.
So every day, I'm aiming for 2 o'clock Central Standard every day to do a devotional.
Okay.
Doesn't always work because life happens.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
exactly. Uh, but so tomorrow I will be on, I believe, at 2 o'clock, because I don't have my schedule in front of me. Anyway,
Mhm.
and on the 19th, we have the Healing Panel Part 2. So
Okay.
if you were on the Healing Panel and you want to be on the second edition, Let me know. If you were not able to make it to the healing panel the first time, but you do want to be on the second one, please let me know. You can email me, you can Facebook me, whichever you prefer. You can leave a comment even down on this particular chat. So my others keeper is at gmail.com. So that's where you can find me on email. And that would be the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
So, all righty. I'll talk to you all
All right.
later. Love
Talk
you.
to you all later. Bye-bye. Love you too.
Bye.